Welcome to Yoga with My Happy Body.
Hello, it's good to see you. Let's come to a comfortable seated posture. Rest the hands on the knees or in the lap, and then let your eyes close. And we'll take about 3 very deep breaths here. Perhaps each breath gets progressively longer and deeper. And if it feels nice to, then holding the breath in at the top of the inhale and coupling the exhale with a feeling of shedding your skin. Maybe it doesn't even have to be something that you know that you're shedding, just this feeling of becoming a little lighter or unburdened with your exhales. Big breaths in, holding at the top, and then just sweet surrender with the exhales. And then we'll bring the hands to the floor behind us, the feet flat on the floor in front of us, a little wider than the hips. So as you windscreen wipe the knees from left to right, the knee shouldn't land on top of the foot. So if it does, just take the feet a little bit further apart. And then let's take the knees over to the left again and keep your hand on the floor behind you, but take your right arm all the way around and then change sides. So knees come over to the right and the left arm wraps all the way around. And then same again, knees all the way over to the left, but this time pressing the hips up. So the left hand can stay on the floor behind you, but you press your hips up and reach your right arm back. And then change sides. We're going to do those 3 moves one more time. So loosening off the hips, starting to mobilize through the back. Take your knees to the left, and then take your knees to the right. And then over to the left again, and with that, wrapping the right arm around. Really reach as if you're trying to grab something just beyond your stretch, and then over to the other side. Back again to the left, and this time lifting your bottom away from the floor, squeezing your glutes as you press your hips forward and reach your right arm back. Then sit the hips down and change sides. Just wonderful. From there, we'll meet in Malasana, which is yogi squat. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but it's a wonderful stretch for the hips and the ankles and the back. If your heels need to lift, that's fine. And if you want to support yourself with a cushion, you can. We're not here for too long though, so just perhaps one more breath. And then land your bottom back down on the floor, and we'll come to butterfly stretch. Soles of the feet together, knees dropping apart. Maybe pulling the flesh of your bottom back, or again sitting on a cushion if you want to. Feel yourself actively pressing the outer knees down to the floor. And then squeeze the knees together, take both knees over to the left, step the right foot outside of the left thigh and come into a seated twist, wrapping your left arm around your right thigh. And then there, I'm exploring spinal movement, so doing a little cat-cow, which you're welcome to try. It can feel quite nice, it can feel quite interesting also to kind of turn the ribs around in circles, like a tumble dryer motion. And then coming out as we came in. So return to butterfly stretch, actively press the outer knees down to the floor, and then bring the left knee all the way over to find the right knee. Step the left foot outside the right thigh, and then wrap your right arm around your left leg. Make sure your left buttock stays heavy on the floor. One hand to the floor behind you for a little support, and then, yeah, just maybe you want to simply hold the stretch. But it can feel really interesting to mobilize the spine here, create spinal waves or rotations through the neck or anything you feel drawn to do. And a gentle reminder to be breathing well. Let's meet back in butterfly stretch. Soles of the feet together. Press the outer knees down toward the floor. And then taking your left hand, holding the sole of the top of your right foot, and reaching your right arm up towards the ceiling, turning your chest to the right. And taking the right hand to hold the top of the left foot, bringing the right elbow down toward the right calf. And reaching the left arm up towards the ceiling, perhaps gazing up toward the left hand. So feel yourself opening through your chest there. Come back from there to Malasana. One more time, yogi squat. Take a breath. Feel your jaw soften. And from there, send your hips up and find some relief in a ragdoll forward fold. Make sure your head is relaxed. And I love to visualize tension pouring out of my shoulders and head here. Take 3 breaths, lengthening the spine as you inhale, holding the breath in. And then exhale, folding forwards, drawing the chin to the chest, maybe grabbing the backs of the ankles to deepen into that fold. And then again, hands to the shins as you lengthen the spine. Hold the breath in. Exhale, fold forward, chin toward the chest, gently pulling into the backs of the ankles. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Hold the breath. Exhale, fold forward, empty the lungs. Bone by bone, begin to roll yourself up to stand. And once standing, maybe taking a few shoulder rolls or rearranging yourself in a way that you feel you need to. Bringing the feet a little closer together. Setting your eyes on a point for your balance as you lift your arms up, breathing in. And then lifting the right knee up into the chest and just giving the right knee a little hug toward the right shoulder. If this is enough of a challenge, stay here. Otherwise, keep a hold of the right knee in the left hand and reach the right arm back. You could turn your head to the right or even look at your right hand. Then releasing the twist, face forwards. Step the right leg back, preparing for pyramid pose. So grabbing blocks if you like to use blocks. Inhale, lifting the head and heart. Exhaling, folding forwards. You can keep the hands in prayer pose at the heart if you want to, or bring the hands down to blocks or to the floor on either side of the left foot. The right heel is pressing into the floor. The right leg is straight. The left leg you're working on bringing to as straight as you can. From pyramid, we'll come to 3-legged dog. So reach the left leg up high as you inhale. And then as you exhale, squeeze the left knee to the right elbow or armpit. So you're making a little twist while strengthening your shoulders and core. Go for a couple more of those. And then with the next one, we'll land the left knee down on the floor, but keep the right knee lifted with the right toes down. And then inhale, lift the left arm up for the ceiling. And exhale, thread the needle, taking the left arm out underneath the right arm. Left arm up, breathing in. Breathing out, thread the needle, left arm under right arm. One more. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle where this time will stay, landing the back of the left arm on the floor, landing the side of your head on the floor. Just rearrange yourself if you need to. And then you can keep the right knee lifted. You're also welcome to put the right knee down if you prefer. I'm taking a variation here where I lift the right leg up in the air and then lift the right arm up in the air. Very interesting balance. Can be a little bit of a wobbly one. And then when you're ready to touch back down, unravel yourself from there, and we'll meet in a plank pose. So for plank pose, have your feet about hips distance apart. And then we're going to do a twisting plank. So rolling your heels over to the right, back to the center, and then over to the left, as if the lower body were toying with the idea of coming into a side plank, but the upper body is unchanging. So rolling the knees, the heels to the right, and then rolling the heels to the left. Let's do one more. Rolling the heels to the right, and then rolling the heels to the left. And that's done. Well done. You can bring the knees down, go for a cat-cow, and then you're welcome to rest in a child's pose. Otherwise, we'll take downward dog. And then from downward dog, we'll lift the left leg up high, the right leg up high, sorry. And as you exhale, squeeze the right knee to the back of the right arm. And go for about 3 or so of those. Right leg high, and then right knee to the back of the right arm. And then with the next one, squeeze the knee to the back of the arm, and then place the right foot outside the right hand. You're in lizard pose. The left hand can stay down, reach the right arm up for the ceiling, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, bring your right elbow down toward the floor, just inside of your right foot. See if you can tap the floor with your elbow and then reach the right arm back up. Don't worry if you can't tap the floor. Just do what you can, moving in that direction. And then with the third one, we take a side plank variation. So you turn onto the outer edge of the left foot, point the right toes out to the right, lower the hips, and then lift the hips, sweeping the right arm like a Mexican wave, down and up, down and up, down and up. And then with the completion of that one, come to a runner's lunge. Can you shift your weight into your right leg completely? Bring your left leg up in the air for warrior 3. Maybe the hands come to prayer pose, and then draw the left knee all the way up into the chest, ready to try those movements on the other side. So give the left knee now a little squeeze toward the left shoulder. You can stay there or keep a hold of the left knee in the right hand and sweep the left arm back, turning your chest, maybe turning your head too. Nice. And facing forward, hands to prayer pose. Step the left leg back. So the left foot goes about halfway or so down the mat, depends a little bit on the length of your legs. The left heel secures itself into the ground. Inhale, lift the head and heart, and as you exhale, fold forward. Maybe the hands stay in prayer pose, maybe they come down to the floor or to blocks. A gentle reminder to check in with your breath. And from there to warrior 3, so plant the hands, send the right leg back and up high, inhale, and as you exhale, bring the right knee to find the back of the left arm, and it's about 3 of those. So right leg reaching up high, and then right knee squeezing towards the back of the left arm. And then with the completion of the next one, touch the right knee down under the right hip. So it's a 3-pointed tabletop position, but the left toes stay on the floor, the left leg straight. And then reach your right arm up in the air. Inhale, and as you exhale, thread the needle. Right arm coming out underneath the left arm. So you might do a few of those. And then landing, where you can stay or you can tentatively play with that balance, lifting the left leg up, maybe bringing the left arm up. You can always have a little giggle at yourself if it doesn't go too well. A reminder not to take things too seriously. Wonderfully done. And then from there, we're going to meet back in plank pose where we can revisit those rotations on the feet. So turning the heels all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. So again, feet about hips width apart so you don't end up squishing your toes with your heels. And you can keep doing that, or we can bring that into sort of a bit more of a circle. So heels to the right and then drop your hips down and then bring your hips through the center like an upward dog over to the left and then lift up on the left side. And then do the same thing the other way. So turn the heels to the left, drop the hips down, move through upward dog, and then back up the other side. Do one more each way. Nice strong movement. And then you can rest, maybe a cat cow, maybe a child's pose. Again, we'll meet in downward facing dog. So this time we'll be lifting the left leg up high. Inhale, left knee to the back of the left elbow as you exhale, just keeping you on your toes. So a few of those, left leg, left knee to the back of the left arm. And then using that to transition to lizard pose. So placing the left foot outside the left hand. Right hand stays down, left arm comes up, breathe in. As you breathe out, left elbow taps the floor just inside the left foot or gets as close to it as you can. Maybe just tapping the knee is fine. But the point is making that lovely rotation through the thoracic spine. And then with the completion of the next one, keep the right hand down, but swivel on the right foot. So you're on the outer edge of the right foot. Turn the left foot out to the left as well. And then you're lowering and lifting the hips, lowering and lifting the hips. It can be quite strong on the wrist and also be quite strong on the hips. So the movement doesn't have to be huge. And then from there, come through runner's lunge to warrior three. The left leg is on the ground, the right leg is lifted. And then bringing the right knee up into your chest as if you're marching. And then coming to mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Feet about hips width or a little bit wider. Lengthen your spine. You can always take blocks under your hands if you want to. Pop a little bend to the right knee, keep the right hand down, reach the left arm up for the ceiling. Try and keep the length through the spine, so tailbone through to the crown of the head, reaching away from one another. And then if you want to, you bring your right hand up to touch your heart. Your right hand is no longer on the floor. From there, sweep the left arm around and down, bending both knees so you end up in a squat. Feet apart, so knees are apart. Challenge yourself with the depth here. Well done. And then come back to Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Left hand stays down, left knee bends, right arm sweeps up. And then maybe the left hand touches the heart. It's great for strengthening the obliques, the muscles in the waist. Really effective, but you must keep your spine long. And then revisit that squat. So hands can come to prayer pose, both knees bend, sit your hips down, thighs no lower than parallel to the floor. And then fold forward. Well done. Might heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. Lengthen the spine and then step the left leg back again for pyramid pose. You might like your blocks again as we'll venture into revolved pyramid. So with the right foot in front, the left leg behind, the left hand stays down and the right arm sweeps up. And the left hand can be inside the right foot or outside the right foot on the floor or on the block. Then bring the right hand down and come into a revolved wide-legged forward fold. So walk your hands around to the left, swiveling on the feet. And then you can have the left hand on the floor underneath the left shoulder and sweep the right arm up to the ceiling. And then changing sides. So pyramid pose, walking your hands over to your left foot. So now you're facing the other end of your mat. Grab your block if you want it for underneath the right hand, and then take the left arm out to the side and up to the ceiling. Might be kinder to keep the left hand to the sacrum, to the lower back, and focus on really rotating the shoulders, the left shoulder on top of the right shoulder. So that's an option if you want to try that instead. And then back to wide-legged forward fold. So walking your hands around to the right, and then keeping the right hand down and sweeping the left arm up. Take a breath. And then we're going to meet back in Malasana. So sitting your hips down inside of your heels. You may well want to bring your feet a little bit closer together for that. Remember, you're never glued to the spot. And then we'll revisit a few of those movements that we started with. So come to butterfly stretch. Feel yourself actively pressing the outer knees down to the floor. And then bringing the right knee over to the left knee, stepping the right foot outside of the left thigh, and coming into this twist here. So hooking the left arm outside of the right leg and really turning your chest to the side, turning your head over your shoulder. Feel yourself wringing out your spine, wringing out any tension. And then coming back through to butterfly before changing sides. So left knee comes over to find the right knee, left foot steps outside of the right thigh, right arm hooks outside of the left leg. Be sure to keep your left buttock down. Left hand to the floor behind you and twist. See if you can draw the shoulders down a little, or the shoulder blades toward one another a little. And then with the completion of your next breath, come back to a comfortable seated posture. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths as you just notice how you feel. Let your shoulders relax. Feel the breath moving perhaps a little more freely. And then bringing the hands to meet in prayer pose and giving thanks to your body, giving thanks to your breath, giving thanks to whatever you feel grateful for right now. And my friends, until next time, thank you for joining me today. Go well. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share to keep the good content coming.